Welcome everybody to today's video. We're going to go ahead and get started with going over the injury report for last week, and then I'm going to tell you my top guard pickups, forward pickups, and then we'll go over the best centers to pick up for this coming week. So injury updates last Sunday, Chuma Okiki, I think that's how you pronounce it, was injured and he should be out until sometime next week. Matthew Dellavedova will be out until mid-February on concussion protocol. Romeo Langford should be back soon from that wrist injury. Wendell Carter will be out for the next month or so with that quadricep injury. And then Chris Dunn will be out until probably mid-February with the ankle injury. And then on Friday, it looks like Jared Dudley was reported to be out until February with a calf injury. Jarrett Culver will be out until mid-February with an ankle injury. And then Michael Carter-Williams, it was saying early to mid-February, but I just read a couple days ago that he re-injured his foot in practice. I'm not sure exactly the extent of that injury, but he may not be coming back soon. All right, Saturday is usually one of the busier days on injury reports. DeAndre Hunter hurt his knee. He's going to be out the next week or so. They're not sure exactly how long he's going to be out, but expect at least a week. Terry Rozier is about day to day with that ankle injury. Lamar Stevens, not sure exactly who he is or who he plays for, but he's out with a abdomen injury. Dozier on the Nuggets, he's out with a hamstring injury. Giannis is questionable tomorrow against the Blazers with a knee injury. He hurt his knee last game, so he might play, he might not. My guess is knee injuries are one of those things that you want to take the risk on. They're in the playoffs, they're doing great. You might as well rest him. Steven Adams, day to day with a calf injury, and Alfredo Camino should be making his season debut soon. I'm kind of excited to see him play. He was playing really good back in Portland, and I think he got to play with the Magic a little bit last year before he got injured, so that's somebody to look out for. Mike Scott's day to day with the knee injury. James Ramsey should be back soon. Elijah Hughes, day to day with ankle injury. And then out with COVID, Juancho Hernangomez, Carl Anthony Towns. And I think he hurt his wrist too initially, Carl Anthony Towns, and now he's coming back with that. He's coming back from that and COVID soon, hopefully this coming week. Josh Hall, Terrence Ferguson, Dario Saric, and Trent Forrest are also off the week. All right, let's jump into guards first. Hidden gems. Reggie Jackson has been playing really good this past week. One thing to note is Paul George and Kawhi Leonard have been on COVID protocol for last week. They just got back and he still had a pretty good game. So hopefully he can keep that momentum going into next week. But that's one of the point guards who's shined over the past few days. Emmanuel Quickly, he was kind of on my watch list. It's somebody who I was like, oh, this guy looks like he could be great if he can get the minutes. And the Knicks are still a team that's rebuilding, trying to put the pieces together. But now that I'm starting to see he's starting to consistently get more minutes, I picked him up in my league, and I think if he's available in your league, you should check him out. And then go over some solid options. Tyus Jones, good backup point guard. He can produce, get some assists, get rebounds on the defense, and get some stats as well. So somebody you can keep an eye out for. TJ McConnell, he's been playing pretty good. And Jalen Brunson on the Mavericks as well. Then you have Anthony Edwards. He's very inconsistent, and his shooting percentage is down. So it's somebody you kind of taking a risk on. But past few games, he's been playing all right, so I put him on there. Monte Morris, a good solid backup point guard. But, I mean, the Nuggets have a lot of guards, so that's one thing to keep in mind. Patty Mills is just one of those solid guys, always pretty average. I wouldn't say he's exceptional. I mean, he's a pretty good player if he gets the minutes, but right now with the Spurs kind of rebuilding, he's not really getting as much playing time, so he's not going to produce as much. People to keep an eye on, I would say the first one is DeAnthony Melton and probably anybody on the Grizzlies. It's like they have John Morant, they have Jaren Jackson, they have a couple other pieces, but they have all these other young guys who are talented, and they're just trying to give them all some exposure. So whether they get minutes and produce, De'Anthony Melton's one of them. I'll go over a couple other guys later on in the video. But yeah, if they get exposure with the Grizzlies, they may go to another team and they may also produce for them. Just something to keep in mind. Derek White's coming off an injury. He's been looking pretty good, so someone to keep an eye on. Ish Smith as well for the Wizards, backup point guard. And then Michael Carter Williams, if he comes back soon, I mean, that's just kind of one of those guys. Is he going to come back off an injury like he was his first couple years, or is he going to look like Michael Carter Williams of the last 2-3 years? So we'll see with that one. As far as forwards go, Kyle Anderson's still at the top of the list. I'm dumb for dropping him in my league. He wasn't playing all last week, and I just kind of wanted somebody to have in my lineup, so I dropped him, and he got picked up right away, and I don't blame that person for picking him up. Royce O'Neal is also producing. Both of those guys are guys who can get you some rebounds, assists, as well as some scoring and defense, so two great guys to have on your roster. Jared Vanderbilt kind of came out of nowhere, but with Karl Anthony Towns coming back, I don't think he'll get as much playing time. So, I mean, if you want to pick him up for a few games and then see what he's like when Karl Anthony Towns is back, I mean, be my guest. Solid options. Justin Holiday. I know Karis LeVert hasn't gotten any, or he hasn't came back yet. He's probably going to be out for a few weeks. And now that Victor Oladipo is gone, Justin Holiday, I believe, has that starting role. So that's somebody to add to your roster if he's available and you're looking for a forward. Jae'Sean Tate, pretty good, but I think now that Victor Oladipo is settling in and John Wall, and they have a decent squad, so they really don't need that. They don't need him as much, but it's somebody to kind of keep an eye out for. I should probably move him to the keep an eye on. Darius Bazley is a solid option. He looks like he's starting to get a little better throughout the season. Jay Crowder has been playing good the past few games. Doug McDermott, another pacer who's been playing good the past few games now that Karis LeVert is going to be out for the next few weeks. So I'm not sure if he actually starts, but he does get good minutes. And then keep an eye on Cam Reddish. Gallinari hasn't been playing good, and DeAndre Hunter just went out, and they kind of play the same position, so he'll probably get more minutes, probably produce a little bit more in the next week or so. And then moving on to centers, I picked up Cody Zeller this week because he's been balling since he got back from injury. I hope he can keep it up. Naz Reid as somebody to keep an eye out for as well. He's been playing pretty good. He did injure his wrist, and Karl Anthony Towns is coming back, so we'll see if he can keep it up. Daniel Theis has been playing really good for the Celtics lately, so if he's available, check him out. Aaron Baines just got back from injury. He's playing decent. I have Chris Boucher on my team, and Boucher has not been playing good lately. So at least, Aaron Baines has taken up some of his minutes and, taken some of that productivity away from him. Zubac's been playing decent. Another solid option. Bobby Portis. JaMychal Green has been playing pretty good off of the bench for the Nuggets, filling both the center and the power forward position. And then a couple guys to keep an eye out for on the Magic. Khem Birch has been playing pretty decently, and Dieng, after the Grizzlies have missed over a week because of COVID, it looks like he had a pretty good game since he got back. So someone to keep an eye out for. I mean, that's just they got a lot of big guys on that team, so it's all about if he gets minutes, he'll probably get some points. And that's about it. Like this video if you can. I would appreciate it if you subscribe for future content. And then if I miss somebody, or if you guys want to see something else in the future, just comment down below and let me know. Guys, take it easy.